Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you and your family members are doing good because that is the most important thing, and for us we are here to talk. So we were following our pattern wise DSA sheet, and in this we were doing strings topic. Pattern is 2-pointer, and today we will do the next question, which is longest palindromic substring. We'll see the brute force approach, and also we'll see why we only apply 2-pointer and why not other patterns on this. So let's read the problem statement. This says that you will be given a string and we have to return the longest palindromic substring in a S. Okay. So first of all, what is substring? Substring is continuous part of any string, correct? We cannot take characters from any order. We have to take it continuously. Now what is palindromic string? Palindromic string is nothing but, here suppose we have BAB. So when we read from the front side and when we read from the back side, we read the same string no matter from which side we are reading. So here if you will see how many such palindromic substrings are there. Palindromic substrings means B can also be a palindromic substring, yes, because when we read from both the ends, we read the similar string. Here A is also means all single length string, no doubt, yes. Now for 2 length, BA, AB, no, BA, no, and AD, no. Means for 2 length, there are no such palindromic substring. Now let's see for 3 length. BAB, yes, it is a palindrome. So can I say BAB, BAB, yes. Now ABA, yes. Now BAD, no. Now for 4 length, BABA, no, it is not a palindrome. ABAD, no, it is not. So hence out of all, what is the longest length palindromic substring? Of course BAB or ABA, but whatever you found first, you can return this, okay? But if the question says, suppose ki you have to return the in lexicographical order, means ABA you have to return because ABA is smaller to BAB. Correct? So hence in that case we have to maintain such order, but in this case the question does not mention such, so we can actually return anything, or else whatever we found at first, which is BAB, that we will return. Okay, this so we understood. Now let's see what is the constraint here. Constraint says ki S dot length, which can go from 1 to 1000. Okay, means 10 power 3 I can say, correct? So N, which is length, can go till 10 power 3. Why we read this? Because when we will optimize it, whether n square, n cube, whatever solution works for us, that we'll get to know. So before discussing the optimized approach, let's discuss the brute force approach. You know, basically you need every substring here. Can I say? Yes. So I need every substring, okay, and then I want to check for every substring, I want to check it is a palindrome or not. So first thing regarding the palindrome, we already learnt about ki suppose a string BAB is there, and we have to check if it is palindrome or not. So there were 2 ways to check if it is palindrome. Ki in a substring put like substring S1 put BAB and take a substring S2 and take a reverse of this. So when you will reverse this, still we will read the same way. And now like run a pointer and check one by one. If they are same, yes. Now if they are same, yes. Now if they are same, yes. At any point if they are not same, return false then and there. But in this case, extra space complexity we used because to save the array or string in the reverse order, correct? Yes. So optimized approach to check if some string is palindrome or not, we already checked that. How? By using 2 pointers approach. Okay, why 2 pointer approach? Because here we want to compare the first and last character. Because when we want to read from both the ends, it should read the same way. So it means, can I say that the first character should match with my last character? Similarly, my second character should match with my second last character. Suppose BA, NA, B. So first character should match with last character. Similarly, second character should match with second last character. Yes. Similarly, so in this way, we started a left pointer from 0th index and right pointer from rightmost index. Correct? Now we compared. If they are not same, we will return false then and there, because if any character mismatch, we can say it is not a palindrome. And now if the characters matched, so means we have to shrink, correct? So can I say my left pointer I'll start from here and right pointer I'll start from the end. Now I'll check if they are same, yes. So I will do left plus plus and I'll do right minus minus. So right will move towards inwards and left will also move towards inwards. Means we are shrinking one by one. So for any string of length n, okay, I am shrinking in this way until this left is equal to right. Why? Because when left and right will be equal to means they point to the similar index, like same index, single element. So it means need not to check. Anyhow, even if you are checking, but I will stop when they cross each other, correct? I can say that. Yes. So can I say to check if it is a palindrome or not, we will take n by 2 time complexity, because anyhow when L is here, like 0th index, R will be at last index. Okay. Now when L will be at mid, R will also come here na, because of R minus. So R will also point to this, means left and right both are pointing to the similar index. So at what point they stopped? If n was 3, okay, I said when they are equal also stop, because no need to check, anyhow single element matched only. So can I say for n is equal to 3, I only run for in like 1 or 2 max. Similarly, when my n is 5, definitely I'll stop at 2.5. So can I say at 2? So this is nothing but, can I say n by 2 time complexity? So hence, for any substring n length, whatever length will be, I'll take the length divide by 2 time complexity to check if it is palindrome or not. Okay, this so we cannot reduce, because the most optimized way to check anything is palindrome or not is through 2-pointer only. Again, why 2-pointer only? Because you know we have to compare these two characters. Next time second and second last only characters, means nothing in between. What are the other patterns? Which is sliding window, prefix sum and cadence, you all know, which we have already discussed in array. But in string we don't use prefix sum or cadence type of algorithm, because that are used for mathematical operations which we do on numbers basically. But on string we only use 2 pointers and sliding window here. So sliding window we cannot use, because sliding window we use everything, like if we are pointing left here and right here, sliding window means everything in between, means B, A, B and not exactly B, B. When we want to only compare that 2 single elements, then we use 2-pointer approach. Okay. So anyhow we have to use n by 2 time complexity to check any substring is palindrome or not. Now the main task is we have to print, like take all the substrings in the string. How can we take, like how can we print? We already have learned about how to print subarrays, you know, in the arrays topic. Similarly we will do the same way. We want every substring. So can I say when I am pointing at I, like I at 0, okay, so basically I want all such substrings which starts with I is equal to 0. So can I say first B, next time BA, next time BAB, next time BABA and next time BABAD. So can I say I have got all such substrings which are starting with I is equal to 0? Yes. Now when I will move my I ahead, but when my I is at 0, I want B, BA, BAB, BABA, BABAD. So how can I get that? So hence I need another pointer which is J. Okay. So basically I'll start my J pointer from here, and J will always start from I. So basically I will run my for int I loop from 0 to I till s dot length, it is lesser, and I'll do I plus plus. Okay. This is to generate all such substrings which are starting with ith index. Now I have to start a for j loop also for int j is equal to I. I want to start my j only from I. Why? Because here to I is equal to 0. But suppose I want all such substrings which are starting with I is equal to 2. Okay. So definitely I want to read only this B and next time BA and next time BAD. Correct. So hence I want my j to start from the same location where I points to. So hence in this for loop I'll mention j is equal to I, j less than s dot length and j plus plus. Okay. So now can I say from I to j is a substring, means I is equal to 0, j is equal to 0, means from I to j, okay. And you know ki in any like method whenever we send, this will be excluded and I want the jth index to be included, so that's why we send j plus 1, that you know. So from I to j, okay, can I say it is a substring? Yes. So basically whenever like wherever we have made that palindrome check function, there in that function we will send this I and j. Okay. So if suppose that function returns me true with this string, with this I and with this j, if this function returns true, okay, basically now I can say this is a palindrome, but I have returned the longest palindrome till now. Okay. So there also we have to check the length. So can I say in my resultant string I will save somewhere, okay, and basically I have to check. So how can I check? So now my I is pointing to 0 and j is also pointing to 0. So definitely in the palindrome check function this will return true. So what is the length of this if you want to calculate? Definitely j is also 0, I is also 0, and you know to calculate length we do j minus I plus 1, correct? So hence that length, if that length is greater than the resultant length, which is 0 basically now, so can I say ki the palindrome which I have found now is the longest palindrome? Yes. So if this function returns true, so I have to check ki if my j minus I plus 1, okay, if this one is greater than what? Resultant dot length, like whatever we have saved till now. If this also true, then we have to update our answer. So what we will do in the resultant, we will do s dot substring, we'll save our answer, because here we don't need to return the length, we have to return the substring itself. So I'll read from string from ith index to jth index I want. So here that's what I was saying, ki we have to say j plus 1 because jth will be excluded. So in this case if we will write j plus 1, so j plus 1 will be excluded, means I is 0, j is 0, so j plus 1 will be 1. So it will exclude 1, so it will only take from 0 to 0, and that's what we want. B, correct? Yes. Next time I will be at 0 only and j will be plus 1, so I think j will point here, okay? J will point at first index, okay? So now from BA, like here, so in this function we will send 0 and 1. Now BA is not a palindrome, so this will return false, we need not to check. Next time j will move to this, okay, 0 to 2. So we will send this here. Now BAB will check and hence we will get true as a result. So it will return true. Now j minus I plus 1. J is what? 2 here, correct? 2. So now what is the length of this? If it is a palindrome, what is the length? Can I say j minus I plus 1, which is nothing but 2 minus 0 plus 1, which is nothing but 3. Okay, so if this 3 length is greater than the resultant length, in resultant we had B, so what is the length of this? 1. Obviously this 3 is greater, so can I say this BAB needs to be my answer? Okay, but I to only have a track of pointers, I have to read the substring from the S string with this help of these pointers. So in the S, using this substring method, we can read from I to j, but as we know j is always excluded, so we will write j plus 1 here, and that we will read. So now this time from 0 to 3, which is nothing but 0, 1 and 2. Till here we will read the string, which is nothing but BAB. So in the resultant, now BAB will get saved, correct? Now after coming outside, we will simply return resultant as an answer. But what is the time complexity? You know, we are running 2 for loops, one for loop from 0 to n and another for loop for every ith till n. Anyhow, it is going to take O of n square only because these are nested ones. And inside it we are calling this function, okay, to check it is palindrome, and you know we just discussed ki it will take nearly O of n by 2 time complexity to calculate. So if you will see now in nested order, it is actually taking n into n by 2 to be more precise, okay. Anyhow, this does not matter, but as the constraint is small, means 1000, so this matters. N into n will become for sure n square, which is 10 power 3, so multiplied by 2 will become like 10 power 6 multiplied by 10 power 3 itself, and multiplied by 10 power 3 by 2. So this is 1000. So can I say when it will get divided by 2, it will become 500, 1000 divided by 2, yes. So total 10 power 8, 5 into 10 power 8. So this might give you TLE, but as the logic is very simple, so it will be very slow and it will get submitted. But this is not the optimized way, because we are using 2 for loops to generate our substring. So hence we can optimize this further. How can we optimize? That we'll see, but let's submit this brute force code. So here we have initialized the resultant variable, which is a empty substring, and now we are using these 2 for loops to generate our substring. Now with this I and j pointer, we are sending this in function called is palindrome, and here we are checking taking this as left and right pointer, and while they touch or cross each other, we are checking every character. At any point if they mismatch, we will return false then and there, or else we'll keep on shrinking. Shrinking means left plus plus and right minus minus. At the end we'll return true. Now in this function, whenever it returns true means it is a valid palindromic substring, but it is the longest one or not, that we have to check it again. How? By the length. J minus I plus 1 will give me the current length palindromic length, and resultant dot length will give me the previously saved length. If this current is greater, definitely we have to update. And how we'll update? From the S, using this substring inbuilt method, we will basically read the characters from I to j plus 1, because j plus 1th is always excluded, so we want till j. Now at the end we will return. Now let's try to run this code, and as you can see it has been passed, so let's try to submit this, and you will see it will be very slow because it is somewhere nearly in cube only. Now how can we optimize? As said, these here we are using 2 for loops to generate the substring. This we have to reduce, because anyhow we cannot reduce the palindromic check function, which is actually taking n by 2, that too we cannot reduce. So definitely generating the substring we have to reduce. But how can we reduce? Let's see. I am present at here, so suppose I is equal to 0. So the logic is very simple. To check the to check it is palindrome or not, what we were doing, from a string we were starting a left and right pointer and we were shrinking in the inwards direction to check, correct? But here we will do the opposite one. Means if this BAB is a palindrome, we'll start our left and right pointer from here itself, okay? And now we have to check if it is palindrome or not, so we will expand instead of shrinking. Means we'll do left to minus minus, okay, and we'll do right plus plus, and definitely again we'll match this, correct? Again, if there is C and C, suppose, again we'll do left minus minus, right plus plus, and we'll match this. So basically we are actually checking the same way, but instead of actually generating the substring, we will only send this ith value, okay, and we'll say you expand yourself and then check if you are palindrome or not. Again, suppose I am at B, okay, I am at B, okay. So to check if it is palindrome or not, definitely L and R needs to be start from here. Yes. Now next time we will do L minus minus. You can see here we don't have any such substring. It is invalid. So how can we check with R plus plus, which is A, definitely. But here we don't have any character, so we won't check. We will stop. Okay. So basically in this palindrome check function, we will only send the I, okay, and we have to check L and R. With the help of L and R, we have to keep on expanding and checking at what length it is palindrome, okay. But this is for odd length, remember, because you know for odd length L and R points to the same character, but for even length palindrome L and R crosses each other instead of touching itself. Means suppose we have A, okay, so definitely when I will send I, suppose here, so this I needs to match with the next one or the previous one, we'll check, but here let's consider the next one. So this is like I becomes L and now I plus 1 becomes R. Once they are same, again we'll do left minus minus and again we'll do right plus plus. Now this will get matched with this. Next time CC, this will get matched with this. So can I say for even length palindrome, whatever I we sent, this I will become L and I plus 1 will become R. But in odd length, both left and right is nothing but I only, correct? So what I said, instead of generating the substring, we'll do the same thing, okay? We'll do the same thing. We'll make a function to palindrome check S, left and right, okay? And we'll keep on running while my left is equal to right, correct? And we'll check if at any point S of L does not match with S of R, we will return false then and there, return false. Or else we'll do left minus minus and right plus plus. Remember that, because here we are actually expanding to check if it is palindrome or not, and we will return true at the end. If they are not false, means they are true and means they are a palindrome. But the left and right pointer we are sending here, that matters, because you just saw when I is here, to check if it is a odd length palindrome or not, left and right should be same index, means I, but for even length, left should be I and right should be I plus 1. So now we will run another for loop for int I is equal to 0 to I s dot length, okay, and basically my job is to only, check everything, means check every ith index. So what I said, first though, I'll call this function with S. Now for odd length, so can I say odd and even, okay? For odd I have to send I and I only, but for even I have to send I and I plus 1, okay? So for odd length we will send II. So for B it will check if it is a palindrome or not. Yes, it is a palindrome. But what do you think? If this function will return true, then B is a palindrome. But what we have to do with this, like how we will get to know what is the length of this palindrome? To calculate the palindrome length, we need 2 pointers. Remember how we did j minus I plus 1. But with alone ith pointer, how can we calculate the length? So hence, to calculate that length, instead of returning true, let's return the length of that palindrome. Means until what length it is valid, that we will return. And how can we do that? Definitely until this left and right pointer has been expanded, means B, okay, and like B was the length, correct? So left and right was pointing to the same length, and we checked if it is same, yes, and then we did left minus minus and right plus plus. So left came here and right came here. But what do you think? Here if we only keep the left less than right, but here to left less than right, but don't you think left is out of index? So hence in this while condition now we have to check one more thing, forgot to add, sorry, and what? Ki while left is greater than equal to 0, and one more thing, right is less than what? S dot length, because we are expanding, so left might go beyond like might be negative, and right pointer can also go beyond the length. So hence we need to keep a track of, like, they don't cross each other, and this point, like this check, we have to keep later like this, okay? Why? Because definitely this will be lesser only, but first we have to check if they do not cross the boundary. If they are inside the boundary level, then only we'll check this lesser condition. Now let's see how can we calculate the length of that palindromic substring. Definitely we are at B and left and right pointer pointing to the same index, okay? So in this function, as left is greater than 0 and right is greater than, like, less than s dot length, and left is lesser than right. So here they are same, so hence we have to put less than equal to also, so that this will like, you know, run, okay? Left and left right are equal to, so here definitely these are same, okay? So we will do left minus minus and right plus plus. Okay, so next time this left will go out of index and right will go like at A, okay? So because this left is out of index, so definitely this while loop stop, correct? But our left is pointing to this and right is pointing to this. Now we want to calculate the length. We know how we calculate the length, right minus left plus 1, but only when left index value and right indexed value are valid. But in this case they are not valid, okay? We want only this. So what do you think? When right is pointing to 1, okay, and left is pointing to minus 1, we have to calculate the length. If we will calculate this way, right is 1 minus minus 1 plus 1, we will get 3, but we want 1. So what do you think? How can we do that? If we will do right minus left, we will get 1 minus minus 1, which is 2, but I want 1. So don't you think we will subtract 1, we will get 1? Yes, okay. So basically you have to calculate your own formula based on your coding, because in your coding B, like right pointer and left pointer are not the valid indexed one. So hence we need this smaller part, so we have to change the formula from right minus left plus 1 to right minus left minus 1. Okay, I showed you the reason also why we did that. So here instead of returning true, we will simply return what? Length. Right minus left minus 1. Now why we got length? Because with the help of this length now we can actually calculate the index for which we want to take that substring. Here we will save this in integer value, considering this this function is returning me length, okay? So odd length and even length, we can even say length 1, length 2, odd even, whatever way you want to, okay? Now my I is at here and my length is 1. Again, my I is at 0, my length is 1. I want to read the substring from I to j, correct? Because I have to read the substring. Like if you are getting confused, forget about this. Suppose for this B, like when your I will be at 1 now, definitely this BAB will be your substring, correct? Valid palindromic substring. So how can you read this? So when, suppose your I is at 1, okay? Suppose your I is at 1. I want to read from this part to this part now, and the length is 3. So what do you think? When my I is at 1, how can I bring my left pointer at 0 and right pointer at 2? If my I is at 1, what is the length? Length is 2. So don't you think, because the length is for the entire substring now, I want to go halfway towards left side and halfway towards right side, isn't it? Yes, from ith location only na. So what you have to do, whatever is the length, what is length? 3. So length divided by 2 will become 1.5, correct? Yes. So when you do ith index, which is 1 minus length by 2, you will go towards the left side, which is left pointer will point to 0. And now when you will do I plus length by 2, definitely you will go at rightmost index. And now from left to right, you can read the substring. Why we did that? Because we only had I pointer, one pointer, and with the help of only one pointer, we cannot take the substrings from two such indexes, right? We need two indexes. In the brute force approach, I had I and j, and hence I can read that substring. But here, because I have converted this into one loop, means I have only one pointer. So with the help of only one pointer, I cannot read the entire substring from a particular index to particular index, correct? So when I am at I at 0, like any index, to read the string, like when I was at I is equal to 1. So to read the substring, and I know the length is 3. So definitely it will be halfway towards left side and halfway towards right side. So I cannot do without length. I need length at least. So I'll do I minus left, like length by 2 to go left side, and I plus length by 2 to go right side. And now from that left side and right side, I can read this, correct? So this left and right side, let's say start or end. So starting index and ending index. And hence in this way, we can get keep a track of the longest length. So let's see the code now. First, we will calculate the length definitely, and start and ending index we have to initialize. Now we converted, we changed the two for loops to generate the substring into one for loop now. And now with the help of I only, we'll call this expand function. Why expand? Because now we are checking the palindromic only. But instead of shrinking and checking, we are expanding. So in this way, we need not to generate the substring. I hope you're getting this. Now we'll call this expand function because first I'm considering this is for odd length. So definitely left and right pointer both will point to the same index. And now for even, left will be at I and right will be at I plus 1. We'll call this function. In this function, we are doing if left is less than equal to the boundary check, and also the character at left and right are matching. We'll keep on expanding. For expanding, we have to do left minus minus and right plus plus. At the end, instead of returning true, we'll actually return the length of that valid palindromic substring. That is nothing but right minus left minus 1, because the leftmost and rightmost index which are pointing, those are not valid. So hence we'll not do right minus left plus 1. Instead, we will do right minus left minus 1. Okay. Now we have sent the length. That length we will check, but we don't know for first though ith, if you see here, when you sent this I is equal to 0 as odd length, definitely you got at least one length valid substring, correct? But when you sent I for even length, so I is equal to 0 means left will be at 0 and right will be at this. Then you have not got even single length substring. So can I say for odd you have got one length palindromic substring, and for even you have got 0, correct? So out of this you have to check which one is the longest one, definitely, because till now we considered, we don't know that particular ith index is a part of odd length palindrome or even length. Here at I is equal to 0, you just saw I is equal to 0 was the part of odd length palindrome, but I is equal to 0 is not a part of even length palindrome, correct? So we have to check if it is odd length or even length, and even if it is both, what is the maximum length we got, considering it as even length or a part of odd length. So here we have calculated, and we have to check which one is the maximum, and that we'll consider. And now what we are doing in this part, actually we will definitely save this start is equal to I minus length minus 1 by 2 and end is equal to definitely I plus 1. You remember, we went towards the left side by half part of the length and we went towards the right side by half part of the length, correct? But to check this current one is maximum or not, we have to compare also. We cannot do key at every time just update itself, otherwise we might miss the longest part. So hence this current length should be greater than this one, which is end minus start. Now what is this? End minus start is nothing but just compare j minus I, and from j minus I want to read the length. Okay. So now this current length which has just been encountered, it should be greater than end minus start. If it is, then we will update. Okay. Now inside this if case also, we can outside we can keep make a variable called resultant, and inside also we can keep on updating the maximum substring. Or else, as we are already keeping a track of the indexes
and we are only updating the indexes whenever we found the maximum ones. So hence at the end also, from that start to end, we can just return the substring from the string. Correct? So in this way we are actually saving our space complexity to store our substring in the string actually, and at the end we are just returning at once. So what is the time complexity now? As you can see in the expand function, which is a palindromic check, earlier also we were doing in this in while loop, and here also we are doing this in while loop, like O of n, but to be more precise, O of n by 2. But previously we were doing this palindromic check by shrinking, but now we are doing this by expanding. Okay, so still the time complexity will be same in both the cases. Now in the previous one we did generation of substrings using two for loops, but here we are only sending this ith index and we are not generating substring. We are actually expanding and then checking whatever is the valid substring, that length we will check. So hence we have changed this two for loops into one for loop. So definitely this will take O of n time complexity, and the nested function again O of n by 2, which is nearly O of n. So now the time complexity has been reduced to O of n square. Now when we will run this, definitely this will be the more faster solution compared to the previous one where we have discussed the n cube solution. Now as you can see it has run. Now we can submit this code as well, and you can see it is the fastest one. So this was your Java solution, and now the question is, can we reduce it further? Yes, we can, and that is called Manacher's algorithm. That gives us linear solution. That is pretty much advanced level, but still if you want to learn that solution as well, do let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely make the video on it. Or else you can check the link of the video in the description, means it has been made. So here is your Python solution if in case you are from Python background with this similar logic, nothing changed. And here is your C++ solution if you are from C++ background. And I hope you understood the logic and you will submit on your own instead of copy pasting. Now with this we can go in our sheet and we can mark the next question as done. I hope you will also mark this done, and if you have any doubt or any part of code if you haven't understood or you want any kind of improvement, just let me know. I'll make sure to do this for you all. And that's it guys, I hope you understood from this video. If yes, do let me know in the comment section by commenting understood or solved. You can also subscribe the channel if not yet subscribed, and if in case you guys are new to this channel, we are following the pattern wise sheet. You can get the access of the sheet from the description below, and if in case you want to connect with me through any social media, all the links will be there in the description. And that's it for this video. Let's meet in another video with some more interesting topics and questions. So then keep learning, take care of yourself and your family.